Good morning, dear students. I am your Rubena ma'am. We all are going through this lockdown period. I hope you are also staying at home and safe. You should not waste this time for unnecessary things or activities. Rather, you spend this time fruitfully. Our school has taken this initiative to start online classes. I will be taking Geography online classes for class 7. So to start with, our prescribed book is NCERT book on social science, our environment. And if you have not procured the book, you can download it. I have given you the link on the screen. This is NCERT book download link and ncert.nic.in textbook is given, and you can download it very well. So we can start the chapter now. The next, we will go directly to the chapter. All of you pay attention and spend some time in serious studies. So our first chapter is environment. Now, our chapter, or rather whole book, is about environment. Now, we commonly see this word environment. Many people say that now, and many organizations also talk about the pollution in the environment. Environment, everyone is, environmentalists are talking about cleaning up the environment. Many serious concerns about environment. But what is environment? And many people, because of pollution, there is noise pollution, there is many such water pollution, so much pollution, deforestation, many such things regarding environment. But what is environment? So if I ask you children, what is environment? Environment is whatever we see in our surroundings. Whatever is around us is environment. Environment actually is our basic life support system. The place, the people, think, nature, or living organism, anything, whether it is man-made or whether it is natural. The air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, the land where we live in, there are different structures, all with a combination of natural and human-made phenomenon is called environment. Actually, it is the surrounding. Whatever it is called the environment. All right. So we are going to the next slide. So the term environment comes from Latin word environ, which is again made up of two words, that is en and viron. From Latin word en is in and viron is circle, means to encircle or to surround. What is surrounded around you is environment. Now the components of environment, you can divide it into two, that is natural and human. Some are we get naturally and some are according to our own human requirement, necessities, we have made it. So the first two things are natural and human. In natural, there are two parts. One, the world of living organisms, which are plants and animals, or any organism, whether it lives in saline water, fresh water, or rivers, oceans, anywhere, or microbes, all living organisms. They are called the biotic. And which are abiotic? like non-living elements, which are also natural, but it is non-living. And those, for example, like we have land, we have atmosphere, water, sun, everywhere which we get from naturally. We get naturally. Now from the human, if we divide it, it is man-made structures are there. Man-made structures, like all the structures which for their own requirement human beings have made. Like old buildings, if you go, which we call it monuments. For industries, we have made industries for our requirement for consumer goods, for many, many things. We have made industries, bridges to cross rivers and all, for buildings, for shelters, parks, roads, everything, any structure which humans have made. And humans have also made society for living. You know that if you go back to where we started, human beings started, they were food gatherers and they were living individually, just like animals they used to live. From there, from where they have made a society to live. And for the most important and the smallest unit of a society is an individual. From individual to next to when individuals together makes a family, when many families can make a community, it can be any such community. Community can be any with the any community, like you can say that whether it is a community of teachers, community of children, community of religious communities, political communities. You can community, you can divide it into economic community. So community can be any community with group of families. Now, according to educational development, religion, economic, economically how societies have made rich, poor, like that. Politically, how we have in different countries different type of political setups. So what kind of all these societies are human made, and these all are of environment. You find in different political societies in different countries, we have different set of governments, different types of governments. And these all made by humans to live. They made some actually the environment. Now the domains of natural environment. We will come to the domains of, there are four natural environment can be divided. One is lithosphere, that is land; hydrosphere, that is water; atmosphere, we breathe air; and biosphere. When these three interact together, where life is possible, is called the biosphere. Where life can exist, it is called the biosphere. So lithosphere, we have certain points. All children, please pay attention to these points and take note of that. And the lithosphere is the outermost solid surface layer of the earth. Now, the upper layer of the earth, which is the most important for us, and it is covered by a thin layer, that is soil, which is again the vital part of our life. It is this is the everywhere. All of you know that lithosphere is not flat everywhere. We have uneven landforms. Somewhere it is mountains, somewhere hills, somewhere valleys, somewhere plateaus. Land is needed for human settlements. You know that in flat plains, there are dense population, whereas if you go to the difficult mountainous places, you will see that there are very sparse population, very less population. Soil is most essential for agriculture, Industries get vital minerals and other raw materials again from the land. It provides us with forest. Soil is again, the lithosphere is important for forest and grasslands. Now we will go to the next slide, and it is hydrosphere. The 71% of the 71% of the earth is covered with water. And but we do water, and in different forms of water we get. Some for solid form like ice, glacier. Then we have liquid forms like ocean, rivers, lakes, ponds, underground waters. We have water vapor in the atmosphere, that is the moisture contained in the atmosphere. Water moves continuously. Water moves continuously from one form to other. And all of you know that what it is called? Water cycle. Water is important for all living organisms to maintain their biological balance. Without water, we cannot survive even. So it is very, very important that water is needed for our own survival, for every living organisms. Water is needed for both domestic use as well as industrial use. For everything in your home, all of you know that domestic use. Industries also need huge amount of water to clean up the things, for washeries, for washing all the things in the machines and all. It is required. It is important to prevent water from getting polluted and wasted. We should conserve water. And you know that there are many ways are suggested for us to, for what rainwater harvesting, to preserve that, to conserve water, so that it should be used for our domestic uses as well as industrial uses. The next is atmosphere. The layer of, what is atmosphere? Atmosphere is the air that surrounds the earth. It's like a blanket. It protects us from the harmful rays, harmful gases of the from the atmosphere. Helps us. It provides us with oxygen. We inhale oxygen and exhale carbon dioxide, all of you know. And the gravitational force of the earth holds the atmosphere around it. And one of the most important thing is the atmosphere acts as a blanket and keeps the earth warm by trapping the heat that radiates from the earth. Otherwise, the earth would have been, after the sun sets, there would be very cold. But the atmosphere actually acts as a blanket. It is called the greenhouse effect. Actually, it is the greenhouse effect, all of you know, that it traps, and which is one of the main gases from the atmosphere which helps it. It is the carbon dioxide, which helps to keep the balance in the atmosphere. It protects life from harmful rays. All of you know, in our atmosphere there is an ozone layer which helps us from the harmful rays and scorching heat of the sun. So atmosphere plays a very important role for our survival. Now this is one of the most important sphere. It is called the biological environment. So what is biosphere? Biosphere is the narrow zone of contact between land, water, air, where life exists, where life forms exist. Everything in that biosphere is interconnected or interdependent. Everything is interdependent. For like whether it is land, air, atmosphere, or life. Everything needs one interdependent on each other. Forest provides, from forest we take timber, fruits, nuts, honey, resins, lac, medicinal herbs, many things we get naturally from forest. They also provide a natural habitat for various plants and animals. Forest helps moderate atmospheric temperature by absorbing carbon dioxide. You know, the plants need carbon dioxide to make their food. So for forest, what they do, they moderate the atmospheric temperature. What they do by absorb large amount of carbon dioxide. And that is why forests are very much required. Humans in turn depend on animal as source of food. We humans, we many animals we use as source of food. Some people also use animals as to transport. For transportation also we use to carry heavy loads and other for traveling also, for transportation also we use animals. Human environment. Now coming to human environment, this is very much important. Then human beings interact with natural environment and modify to suit their needs. When if we go, children, to the long, in class 6 you have read about the history from where human beings started, from Paleolithic age to Mesolithic age, then Neolithic age, then civilization started, and then to today's modern world. Human beings have, from time to time, they have modified the environment according to their need. They adapted the environment. People of coastal areas, because in coastal areas rice can be grown and easily fish is available, they have adapted that food. The people of mountainous places, because of the cold, the animals there, the polar bear, the fur animals, furry animals are there. And there they have adapted to, human beings adapted to all woolen things, winter clothes, winter food habits. In the land area where there are plains, you see that there are extreme climates. In winter, they have extreme winter season where they take groundnuts, chickpeas and all, sesame seeds, till is used for winter seasons, whereas in summer they use lots of different foods to keep their body cool. So according to they have modified. In mountainous areas they have made different houses, wooden houses, whereas in plains they have made different style of housing so that to keep the houses cool in the summers. So the human beings may make use of all three spheres of earth. They adapt themselves to the natural environment by making modification in their shelter, food, clothing. According to the climatic conditions, human beings have adapted different ways of keeping things. They modified it. They also modify the natural environment to suit their social, biological, economic, and cultural needs. Human beings natural, they have made it use the natural environment to social functions, social gatherings. They're biologically how to keep them safer, keep them comfortable, economically how to use it, and cultural needs, how to celebrate culturally those things. Such things are done by the humans according to the environment. Now, what is the last topic? We are coming to the last topic of this chapter, that is, what is ecosystem? An ecosystem is a community of living things and non-living components that work together. Each and every animal is having its own ecosystem. Just now I was referring that a polar bear cannot be bring back and kept in a desert area, or a camel cannot be kept in a polar area. They have different ecosystem about the non-living components as well as living components, and they have adapted it. Ecosystem have no particular size. Ecosystem can be very small, like a pond, such a small, or can be rainforest as a large as rainforest, Amazon rainforest. There you have this idea that huge amount of animals, plants of rainforest, and the size of the Amazon rainforest. The grasslands, coastal areas, mountains, deserts, lakes, mangrove forest, coral reef, etc. All they have their unique ecosystem. Now we have man-made ecosystems also. We are now adapted this, that ecosystem we are making artificial ecosystem also. Now these artificial ecosystems examples are aquariums, terrariums. I have given this on screen two pictures. Aquariums you are very familiar, and now terrariums are somewhere very much popular for decoration and all. People are making this special artificial set of for plants which are of not the same things, and these are very much important. Now coming to this exercise, children, I want to come to the end of this chapter. I suggest you to go through the chapter again and again, and the slides, if you can see it, make this notes in your copy, if you notes in your copy, and after reading this chapter, going through this chapter, go for question answers. Go only in the book, you do the exercises, the rest of the exercises, and the very simple question answers are there. So I don't think I have to dictate or tell you to the answers, or any such help is not required. You can spend some time and write it. Don't go for shortcut. Write it properly in your copy. So hope all of you are keeping well. Spend some time in your hobbies, and at least 2 hours study is a must for you. Thank you.